I've never recorded on Zoom. Hello, Naomi. Okay, so today we are gonna do a Vinyasa flow. So it's a little bit more energetic than the one on Tuesday if you came to that. On Tuesday, we started lying on our backs, but today we're just gonna start sitting. So find a comfortable seated position, either on your knees or cross-legged or with your feet out in front of you, whatever's comfortable for you, whatever works for you. And we're gonna start by closing our eyes. I'm gonna face you, but you can face whatever way on your mat you want. So close your eyes and just start to notice your breath. Breathe in a natural way. You don't have to change your breathing. Don't make it any slower or faster. Try to breathe through your nose if you can. If you'd like, you could turn your palms face up on your knees or in your lap. Kind of welcoming a accepting feeling with your palms up. And pay attention to whatever parts of your body are touching the ground and feel how the ground supports you. You can lengthen your breaths now a little bit, making each inhale a little bit longer and each exhale a little bit longer. So I want us to come to this practice today with the intention of curiosity and play. So bring a little bit of a smile to your face, and we're gonna start welcoming that energy in now. There might be some times in this practice where you fall over or you fall out of a posture, and that's absolutely fine. So take one more breath. You can start to bat your eyes open. Bring your hands out to each side, spreading your arms and your fingers wide, and bring it over your head, stretching up, stretch your spine and your hands and your arms. And then bend your elbows and bring your hands kind of to the back of you. So you're cactusing your arms and your chest is wide. You can look up so you get a little bit of a back bend. And then bring your hands to your heart. Okay, so we're gonna start warming up in a seated position. So you can stay cross-legged or however you have your legs, and we're just gonna turn to the left. So turning with the base of your spine up, and you can look over your shoulder if you'd like. You can place your right hand on your left knee, get a little bit more of a twist. And the twist should be coming from your spine, not from your neck. Your neck isn't really doing too much work. Take a breath here. And on your exhale, come back to the center and twist to the other side. So making sure your shoulders aren't scrunched up. Let them relax while you bring this twist into your back. As you exhale, you might be able to twist a little bit more. And come back to center. Now you can bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, and if you can, Try to bring an arch in your back. You can try to straighten your elbows if that is available to you, and look up to the ceiling. Breathe here. Release your hands and bring them in front of you, arching your back and extending your fingers out forward. Okay, now we're going to come to tabletop position on our hands and knees. So your knees are just under your hips and your hands are just under your shoulders. You want to disperse the weight evenly between your fingers and your palms. And we're just going to start doing some circles clockwise. So you're making circles on your wrists and your hips are also making little circles. Not too fast. Just bring in a little bit of movement and warmth. And then if you want to add a little bit of movement in your back too. So when I bring my hips back, I'm arching my back. And when I bring my chest forward, I'm lifting my chest. So you're circling and kind of like doing a little wave. Okay, let's turn to the other side. So just little circles going counterclockwise. You can ground down into the tops of your feet into your mat if you'd like for a more grounded feeling. Now again, if you'd like to bring that kind of wave in the back into your circling, feel free to do that. Play around. Might feel a little awkward to get the hang of it at first, but it'll come. Okay, now come back to neutral. I can just do a little cat-cow. Not for too long. And then come back to a neutral spine, and we're gonna rock backwards and forwards. So again, not too fast. We're just waking up the wrists. So only do what feels good for you. Don't go too far. Don't go to pain land. Okay. Now you can tuck your toes and we're gonna come into downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet here. Feel free to close your eyes too. Might make it a little bit more challenging, but it'll make you go inward a little bit more. Now we're going to transition from downward dog to plank and back to downward dog. So we're going to do this a couple times. Not too fast. Again, we're just warming up. So you can do it with your breath. Remember to breathe. So on the exhale, come into downward dog. Inhale, come into plank. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, plank. Okay, do that 2 more times. We're going to come back into downward facing dog and lift up your right leg. So we're in a 3-legged down dog. So in 3-legged down dog, you want your hips to be parallel to the ground. You don't want them open too much to the side. So breathe here. You can bend your right knee if you'd like. And you can keep it straight. We're going to bring our right foot up between our hands for a little bit of a lunge. Okay, we're gonna rock here back and forth. So you can keep your hands on the ground. Keep your fingers or your palms or the tips of your fingers. If your fingers don't reach, you can put your hand on your knee, on your thigh. And then we're just gonna rock here a little bit. You can ground down into your right toes and your heel, making your weight even on that foot. Okay, then we're gonna come into crescent lunge. So keep your left leg straight, right leg bent. Sweep your arms over your head so your fingers are facing the ceiling. And extend up through your spine and your arms here. Take some breaths. You bring an arch in your back if that feels good for you. If you're arching your back, don't let your head drop down too much. Keep your ears in line with your arms so that your neck is working. Now we're gonna come back straight up with our spine and straighten your right leg. So you're in this a little bit of a triangle with your base. And then we're gonna fold forward. You can place your hands on your thigh or on the ground. And breathe. Bending your right knee, place both hands on the left side of your right foot. And we're gonna come into lizard. So if you'd like, you can lower your left knee and put the top of your left foot on the ground. It's kind of like pigeon if your foot wasn't under you and it was to the side of you. So that's kind of the same feeling we're getting. You can stay up on your fingers. You can come down onto your forearms. If you'd like to be on your toes on your left foot, you can do that. Wherever your body is feeling, whatever it's feeling today. Listen to it. If your knee is lowered, come onto your left toes and lift your left knee. Place your left hand under your left shoulder and take a twist so your right arm is coming up to the ceiling and look up. And breathe. Remember that we're here for play, so bring a smile to your face. We're choosing to be here. Place your right hand next to your right foot and come back into downward facing dog. Battle out your feet. Or you can bring stillness to your downward dog. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. On your next inhale, bring your left leg up for three-legged dog on the other side. So your right foot can either be, you can be really raised on your tippy toes, or your heel can be down. It doesn't have to touch the ground. It can, but wherever it is, that's great. You can bend your left leg if you'd like. Seeing what it feels like when it's straight versus when it's bent. And now bring your left foot between your hands. I often have to lift my left arm to get it out of the way so I can put my left foot there. Sometimes you have to step it up slowly. Okay, we're gonna hang out here for a minute. So keeping your fingertips on the mat or on your thigh. You can look forward and drop your hips a little bit more and start to rock back and forth. Okay, on our next inhale, bring your arms up over your head for a low lunge, for a crescent lunge, sorry. And breathe here, relax your shoulders. You're doing great. This is a lot of work. My thighs are starting to feel it. If you'd like, you can bring an arch in your back. Wiggle your fingers. Bring your spine back to neutral and straighten your left leg. Both legs are straight now. Try to bring your hips in line with your ribs. And then we're gonna fold forward. So during this fold, you can have your hands on your shin, on your thigh, on the ground. Breathe, close your eyes. Take a big inhale. And exhale, bend your left leg. Place your right and left hand on the right side of that left foot. And come into lizard. So whatever lizard looks like for you today, you can lower your right knee and your foot if you'd like. Leave them active on your toes. Focusing on our left hip flexor and the inner part of our thighs. And even our right hip foot flexor, that's also getting targeted. If the back of your right foot is on the mat, tuck your toes and come up onto them. Place your right hand under your right shoulder and bring a twist to your spine. Bringing your left arm up, your fingers reaching the ceiling, and look up to the sky. Breathe here. Okay, from here, we're not gonna go back to down dog, we're gonna go into warrior two. So sweep your left arm down to the ground, up in front of you, turn your right back foot so that it's facing the ground, and stand up into warrior two. So your left foot is facing the top of your mat, your toes are facing the top of your mat, and there's a bend in your left leg. Your right leg is straight, your toes are facing the right side of your mat, your arms are both parallel to the ground. Breathe here. Close your eyes if you'd like. Okay, we're gonna come to reverse warrior. So Bring your right hand down to your right leg, left hand up to the ceiling, and take a bend in your back. So your chest is looking up to the ceiling. And your fingers can be kind of to the back of the mat, both of them. And your legs are staying the same. And your neck is engaged. And we're gonna come into extended side angle. So we're gonna bend the other way to the top of our mat. Place your left forearm on your left knee and bring your right arm up to your right ear. Our legs again are staying the same as they have been for the last two postures. If you'd like, you can look up to your fingers on your right hand. Breathe. Okay, we're gonna come into Skandasana, low lunge on our right side. So raise your right arm and your left arm, straighten your left leg, bend your right leg, and squat down onto that right leg. You can use your hands on the floor. You can place your left foot fully on the ground, however you need to be there. That's fine. If you'd like a little bit more, you can lift your hands. You can point your left toes up, play around with it, see what's comfortable. You can be on the tiptoes of your right foot, or you can put your foot down. If you fall out of it, that's okay. Just come back into it and breathe here. Okay, we're gonna go to Skandasana on the other side. So straighten your right leg, bend your left leg, and cross over to the other side. Again, play around with what your right toes are doing, if they're facing the ceiling or if they're on the mat, and your left toes, if you're on your tippy toes, or if you're flat, if your foot's flat. If you're using your hands, if you're using your fingertips, if you're not using your hands. We're gonna go back to Skandasana on the right side. Whatever way feels good to you on the left side. So you're just gonna move back and forth slowly here a couple times. If you'd like, you can try transitioning without your hands. Makes it a little bit more intense, a little bit harder. If you grunt, that's fine. You're at home. Feel free to grunt as much as you'd like. Okay, so the next time you come out of Skandasana, stop in the middle. And we're gonna do wide leg forward fold. So both of your toes are facing the long side of your mat. Sorry, both of your feet, not both of your toes, all of your toes. And you can place your hands on the ground or on your hips. Keep your back straight. And we're just gonna fold. You can let your back not be so rigid. Let your arms and your neck and your head hang out. Keeping your legs straight or with a little bit of a bend. Breathe here. You can shake your head from side to side or up and down. Okay, come up onto your fingertips and slowly roll up, keeping your legs where they are. Place your hands on your hips and roll your shoulders back and bring a little bit of a bend into your back. And come back into wide leg forward fold. Okay, so we're gonna point our left toes towards the front of our mat, move both of our hands up to the right side of our left foot. So we're in a low lunge again, and then we're gonna push on our toes to the top of our mat. So we're in a standing forward fold, not wide leg forward fold. Sweep your arms over your head, come into chair pose. So your arms are in line with your ears, and all of your weight is distributed evenly between your feet. There's a bend in your knees. Your back is as straight as you can make it. You can look up. Breathe here. Okay, come into forward fold and release your head, let it hang out. Okay, bring your left foot to the back of your mat so you're in this low lunge again. Put your left foot down so that the left side of your foot is parallel to the back of your mat. Bring your left hand over your head and sweep up into warrior two. So your arms are parallel to the floor. Look over your right hand. Breathe here. I like to line up my left foot with my right heel. So my right heel lines up into the middle of my left foot. That's where I like to have it. Close your eyes here. And breathe. Relax your shoulders so they're not up scrunched to your ears. Pay attention to your feet. Grip the mat with your feet and really ground yourself, stabilize yourself. On your next inhale, we're going to do reverse warrior. So your left hand comes down to the left, either on your butt or on your leg, and your right hand sweeps over to your right ear. You can look up to the sky. And breathe. Feel the lengthening of the right side of your torso and the crunching of your left side. Inhale and exhale, bend to the other side. Your right forearm is placed on your right knee. Left hand sweeps over your head, connects to your left ear. You can look up. You can look to your left fingers if you'd like. Keeping your left leg really straight. Really engage that leg, those glutes. And breathe. Invitation to close your eyes. It's a little bit less balanced, maybe. Okay, from here we're gonna go back to Skandasana on the left side, low lunge. So on your inhale, bring both of your arms parallel again, straighten your right leg, bend your left leg. And we're on the other side of the mat. Okay, Again, feel free to play around here with where your toes are, with what they're doing. Okay, come to Skandasana on the other side. Lift your left toes. Try placing your fingers on the ground and opening your chest. See the difference that it feels like when you're open versus when you're facing the ground and more closed. Skandasana on the other side. Okay, come into the center. So both feet are facing the left side of the mat. And we're in forward fold again, wide leg forward fold. We're gonna take some twists. So place the left hand on the mat in the middle of your chest and raise your right hand up to the ceiling. Both of your legs are fairly straight. Your back is straight. Lower your right hand, put it where your left hand was, and raise your left hand up. Making a line between both of your arms. You can come up to your fingertips if you like on your right hand, or stay low. Lower your left hand, place it where your right hand was. Raise your right hand one more time. Look up to the ceiling. Pay attention to your feet. Are they evenly dispersing your weight? You can grip into them. You can even kind of close your toes as if you're hugging the mat. Okay, bring your right hand down to your left hand, and your left hand is going to raise one more time. And look up towards your left fingers. Okay, bring your left hand down and bring it to the top of your mat. So you're gonna have to shimmy your feet around a little bit so all of your toes are facing the front of the mat and you're back in low lunge. So you can place your hands on the mat now and come into down dog for a moment. We've done so much work on our legs. You're all amazing. And come into child's pose. So come onto your knees. You can be in wide leg child pose, or you can bring your knees together. Whatever you'd like. I'm doing wide leg today. And you can have your hands over your head, or you can have them down by your legs. I'm gonna rest here for a couple of breaths. Try to relax any part of your body that you feel tension. Unclench your jaw if you're clenching. Relax your shoulders. And your hips. Breathe here slowly. Notice the difference between the movement we were just doing and the stillness. Take one more breath here. On your inhale, come up so that you're sitting on your knees. And bring your knees together a little bit. You're gonna go into camel. So there's a couple different variations of camel you can try. Come, instead of being seated on your feet, come up onto just your knees and place your hands on your back, kind of on your butt, and bring a bend in your back here. You can widen your legs a little bit if you'd like. And keep your neck engaged and active. If you'd like, if you practice camel and you're comfortable with it, you can bring your hands to your feet or to your calves for a little bit more of a back bend. If you're in that variation, you try to bring your chest up to the ceiling while lowering your neck, but not too far. You want to keep your neck engaged to prevent any pain in your neck. Okay, so wherever you are in camel, we're gonna do a little bit of playing. So bring your right arm up to the ceiling and then bring it to the left. So you're kind of getting a little bit of a twist and a bend at the same time. Now bring your right hand back to the right side, whether it's on your foot or your back, and lift your left hand over to the right side, making these little arches. Now play around here for a couple movements. If you want to add your hips into it, when I come with my hand at the very top, I place my butt on the ground, and then as I put my left hand back on my foot, I raise my hips. So you can try that if you'd like. You can bring your neck into it. Do this one or two more times. Okay, now tuck your toes, place your hands on your mat. We're gonna come to down dog. Paddle out your feet. Now raise your right foot up for three-legged dog. Bring your right foot between both of your hands for low lunge. We're gonna come into warrior two. So we've already been here. Sweep your hands up into warrior two. Now we're gonna come into Skandasana again. So your right foot is on the front of your mat and you're bending on your left knee. Okay, come back up with your left hand placed next to your right foot. We're in lunge again, and we're gonna take a twist here. So your right hand is facing the ceiling. Now we're gonna add something new. We're gonna add warrior three. So you can place your hands in front of, a little bit in front of your right foot and kick up with your left foot. We're gonna do warrior three with our hands on the ground. So if you're not finding stability here, feel free to have your left foot on the ground. But you can try also to lift it up. There's a lot of work for our right glute to keep that engaged. And now lower your left foot. And we're coming into crescent lunge. So sweep your arms up over your head. Bring a little bit of an arch in your back. And then lower your hands down to lunge, and we're gonna come to down dog. Take a breath here. Okay, raise your left leg up to the ceiling, three-legged dog. Bring your left foot between both of your hands. You're in this low lunge. Now, with your right foot, place it against the mat. Sweep your right arm over your head and come into warrior two. And breathe. Exhale, come into Skandasana on the right side, low lunge. Come out of Skandasana, place your right hand next to your left foot. Get back up on your right tippy toes and come into low lunge with a twist. So your left hand is up towards the ceiling. Lower your left hand, both fingers are on the ground in front of your left foot. Rock back onto your right toes and pop forward into variation of warrior three with your hands. So you can play around with having your left knee bent or fully extended. Same with your right foot, with your right leg. You can try to fully extend it or keep a little bit of a bend in it, or keep it on the ground. Whatever works for you. Okay, wherever you are, lower your right feet and sweep your arms over your head for crescent lunge. And lower down both your hands on the ground. Come into down dog. Okay, you can feel free to bring some movement to your hips or your spine in down dog. You can bend both knees at the same time, one knee at a time. Wiggle around, move your shoulders. Okay, come into stillness in the down dog. Raise your right leg up to three-legged dog. Bring your right leg forward between your hands. And place your left foot down, sweep your left arm over your head. Come into warrior two. Skandasana on the left side, however that looks for you. And come back to the top of your mat, left foot next to your right hand. Bring a twist. Your right fingers are facing the ceiling. Fingers in front of your right toes. Pop forward onto your right leg. If you'd like to add a little bit, you can try to take your hands out of it. So your arms are facing the back of your mat. Wherever you are, lower your left toes, come into crescent lunge. Bring an arch in your back. And come forward with your hands placed on the mat, downward facing dog. Left leg up to the ceiling, three-legged dog. Into lunge. Place your right foot on the mat, sweep your right arm over your head, warrior two. Skandasana on the right leg, low lunge. Bring yourself forward so your right hand is next to your left foot. Come up onto your right toes. Bring a twist, left hand to the ceiling. Both hands in front of your left toes. Pop up onto your left foot. Feel free to Try taking your arms away. Fall out of it, that's okay. We're here to play. Lower your right toes and come into crescent lunge. Oh. Okay, we're gonna do that one more time. So place your hands on the ground and come into downward facing dog. Right leg up, raise your right leg up. Right leg between both of your hands. Plant your left foot, left arm sweeps up into warrior two. Both hands are parallel to the ground. Come into Skandasana on the left side. Your left knee is bending. Right leg is straight. Come to the top of your mat. Place your left hand next to your right foot. Twist with your right arm, reaching to the ceiling. If you'd like to try going from this right into warrior three with no hands, feel free to do that. Woo. I feel like I'm flying when I do that. Wherever you are in warrior three, place your left toes down on the ground, sweep up into crescent lunge. And place both hands on the mat next to your right foot, come into downward facing dog. Okay, last time on the left leg. Raise your left leg up to the ceiling, three-legged dog. Bring your left foot next to your right hand. Lower your right foot. Sweep your right arm up over your head. Come into warrior two. Take a breath here. Straighten your left leg, bend your right knee. Skandasana on the right side. Make your way to the front of the mat with your right hand next to your left foot. Bring your left arm up to the ceiling. Lower your left arm, pop up onto your left leg. Warrior three. Lower your right toes, crescent lunge. Sweep your arms over your head. Bring an arch in your back. Ooh. Oh, now place your hands on the mat. We're gonna come into downward facing dog for a moment. Okay, come into plank and then pigeon with your right foot. So your right foot is coming to the top of your mat. So for pigeon, doesn't really matter what angle your right leg is at. It doesn't have to be parallel with the top of your mat. It can be at like a 90-degree angle or a 45-degree angle, whatever you'd like. And you can untuck your back toes if you haven't already. Place the back of your foot on the mat. If that's not comfortable for your knee, you can keep your toes tucked. I do that because my knees aren't too happy about being on the ground. Oh, and breathe here. So you can stay up on your fingertips. Or if it's comfortable for you, you can come down onto your forearms or your chest. Wherever's the most comfortable, most relaxing. Wherever you can find the most ease, that's where you want to be. Breathe here. Take deep breaths. Relax your shoulders, your hips, your feet. Relax your neck. On your inhale, come up to your hands if you're not there already. And place your hands on the mat. Come onto your left toes so that you're going into plank again and switch your legs. So your left leg is now under you near your chest. So even if you are going to go down onto your forearms, stay up on your hands and your fingers for a moment. Breathe, close your eyes. If you like, you can come down onto your forearms. Or your chest. Again, whatever's most comfortable for you. You can find the most stillness. Relax your fingers, your arms, your shoulders, your chest and your neck. Relax your hips. Take one more breath here. On your inhale, come up to your hands. And we're gonna swing that right leg forward. So both of our legs are forward. You can place both of your feet on your mat and lower down so that your knees are bent. Your back is on the ground. Place your hand on your stomach and your other hand on your chest. And let your knees fall in together. Breathe. Feel how when you breathe, your stomach and your chest moves, your hands. Close your eyes here if you haven't already. We're going to do a little bridge, a little mini bridge, so you can bring your feet a little bit closer to your butt. I like to kind of measure it so that my fingertips are touching my heels when I place my hands straight. And your feet are hip distance apart. So with your weight evenly distributed on your feet, and an inhale, bring your hips up to the ceiling. You can place your hands under your hips if you'd like, under your back. You might have to wiggle your shoulders a little bit to make space there, or you can leave them on the ground. Engage your glutes. Imagine you're really pushing your belly button and your hips up to the sky. So you're getting a bend in your back, but also activation in your legs. If your hands are behind your back, you can release them down, and on an exhale, release your bridge. So your back is on the ground. You can straighten both of your legs. We're going to come into Shavasana. So your feet can be a comfortable distance apart. I like to have mine a little bit wider than hip distance. Place your hands, palms up, like a foot or so away from your hips. And you can rock your head side to side, slowly, feeling sensation in your neck. And then come to stillness. Close your eyes and breathe through your nose if you can. Try to slow your breathing. Lengthen your breathing. Relax every muscle in your face, your eyes, your nose, your cheeks, your mouth, your chin, the sides of your face, the back of your head. Relax your neck and your shoulders. Relax your biceps, your elbows, your forearms. Relax your wrists and your palms, all of your fingers. Relax your upper back and your chest, your lower back, your abdomen. Relax your hips, your thighs, your knees. Relax your calves and your shins, your ankles. Relax the bottoms of your feet, the tops of your feet, and all of your toes. Take a couple breaths here in this stillness, this calmness. Take a long inhale in and sigh out. Start to wiggle your toes and your fingers. And roll your legs in and out, and your arms in and out. You bring your arms over your head, bring your feet together, and take a stretch from the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers. Stretch your whole body and relax. Turn onto the right side. Come into a little bowl. Take your left hand and push yourself up into a seated position, keeping your eyes closed. Take a breath here. Bring your hands to your heart center, palms together or placed on your chest. I'm going to Om. I invite you to Om with me if you'd like. I'm going to take an inhale and an exhale, and then an inhale, and on the second exhale, I'm going to Om. So inhale, exhale, inhale, bat your eyes open. Thank you for playing with me. I hope you enjoyed it. Happy Saturday. Yeah, that's it. So thank you, Bev. I'm glad you came. I'm glad you all could make it. This was really, really fun. We'll be here again on Tuesday. And if you want to do it again, I'll post the recording. So yeah, thank you all for coming.
Thanks, Kat.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kat.
Bye-bye.
Bye.